At over 30, these superfoods can skyrocket your testosterone and performance. Introduction: the silent shift. After 30, turning 30 is often celebrated as a milestone of maturity, stability, and peak professional potential. It is the age where many men feel they have finally found their footing in the world. However, beneath the surface of this social and psychological apex lies a biological reality that is rarely discussed with the urgency it deserves: the beginning of a gradual, insidious decline in hormonal vitality. Specifically, testosterone levels begin to drop. For decades, the narrative surrounding aging has been one of inevitable decay. We are told that losing muscle mass, gaining belly fat, experiencing brain fog, and suffering from low libido are simply part of getting older. This fatalistic view is not only scientifically inaccurate but also dangerous. It leads millions of men to accept a diminished quality of life as their new normal, when in fact these symptoms are largely driven by modifiable lifestyle factors, with nutrition playing the starring role. Testosterone is not merely the sex hormone, it is the master regulator of male physiology. It dictates bone density, muscle protein synthesis, red blood cell production, mood stability, cognitive function, and metabolic health. When testosterone levels are optimal, a man feels energetic, focused, strong, and resilient. When they suboptimize, the result is a slow erosion of vitality that can mimic depression, chronic fatigue, and premature aging. The good news is that you are not powerless against this decline. While genetics play a role, epigenetics, the way your environment and behaviors influence gene expression, play a much larger role. And the most powerful tool in your epigenetic arsenal is food. This comprehensive guide is designed to be the ultimate resource for men over 30 who refuse to settle for mediocrity. We will dive deep into the science of testosterone production, explore the specific nutritional mechanisms that support or hinder hormonal health, and provide an exhaustive analysis of the superfoods that can naturally skyrocket your testosterone and overall performance. We will move beyond simple lists of good foods to understand why they work, how to prepare them for maximum bioavailability, and how to integrate them into a sustainable, high-performance lifestyle. We will cover everything from the micronutrient foundations of steroidogenesis, the creation of steroids like testosterone, to the impact of gut health on hormone regulation, the role of healthy fats, the dangers of endocrine-disrupting chemicals in our food supply, and the synergy between nutrition, sleep, and exercise. By the end of this 10,000-word journey, you will possess a doctoral-level understanding of nutritional endocrinology and a practical, actionable blueprint for reclaiming your prime. Chapter 1: The Biology of Decline. Understanding testosterone. After 30 to fix a problem, you must first understand its mechanics. Why does testosterone drop after 30? Is it inevitable? And what exactly is happening inside your body? The natural trajectory: testosterone production peaks in men during their late teens and early 20s. From approximately age 30 onwards, total testosterone levels decline by about 1% to 2% per year. This phenomenon is known as andropause, or late-onset hypogonadism. While a 1% annual decline sounds negligible, the cumulative effect over 2 decades is profound. A man at 50 may have 20–30% less testosterone than he did at 30. However, this average statistic masks a troubling trend. Modern men are experiencing steeper declines than previous generations. Studies suggest that a man today has significantly lower testosterone levels than his grandfather did at the same age, even after controlling for body mass index, BMI. This points to environmental and lifestyle factors, diet, stress, sleep deprivation, and exposure to toxins, as the primary accelerants of this decline. The HPTA axis, the command center testosterone production, is governed by a complex feedback loop known as the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal (HPTA) axis. The hypothalamus, located in the brain, this region senses low testosterone levels and releases gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH). 2. The pituitary gland. Stimulated by GnRH, the pituitary gland releases luteinizing hormone LH and follicle-stimulating hormone FSH. 3. The Leydig cells. LH travels through the bloodstream to the testes, where it binds to receptors on Leydig cells. This binding signals the cells to convert cholesterol into testosterone. When this axis functions correctly, your body maintains homeostasis. However, several factors can disrupt this signaling. Chronic stress. High cortisol levels inhibit GnRH release, shutting down the signal at the source. Insulin resistance. High insulin levels can suppress SHBG, sex hormone-binding globulin, and interfere with LH signaling. Inflammation. Systemic inflammation damages Leydig cells and reduces their responsiveness to LH. Nutrient deficiencies. Without the raw materials, cholesterol, zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, the Leydig cells cannot synthesize testosterone, regardless of the signal strength. Total versus free testosterone. It is crucial to distinguish between total testosterone and free testosterone. Total testosterone. The sum of all testosterone in your blood. Free testosterone. The small fraction, about 2 to 3%, that is not bound to proteins and is biologically active. This is the testosterone that actually enters cells and exerts effects like muscle growth and libido enhancement. Most testosterone in the blood is bound to 2 proteins. Albumin. Loosely bound, can easily become free. Sex hormone. Binding globulin, SHBG. Tightly bound, generally unavailable for use. As men age, SHBG levels often increase, which means that even if total testosterone remains stable, free testosterone may drop. Therefore, our nutritional strategy must aim not only to boost total production, but also to optimize SHBG levels and maximize free testosterone availability. The symptoms of LOD. Recognizing the signs is the first step toward intervention. Common symptoms include physical, reduced muscle mass, increased body fat, particularly visceral fat around the abdomen, decreased bone density, hair loss, and gynecomastia, development of breast tissue. Sexual, low libido, erectile. Dysfunction, reduced semen volume, and fewer morning erections. Psychological, depression, anxiety, irritability, lack of motivation, brain fog, and poor concentration. Metabolic, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes risk, and cardiovascular issues. If you identify with 3 or more of these symptoms, it is highly likely that your hormonal health is compromised. The solution, however, is not necessarily immediate pharmaceutical intervention, TRT, but rather a foundational overhaul of your lifestyle, starting with nutrition. Chapter 2. The nutritional foundations of steroidogenesis. Before we discuss specific superfoods, we must understand the biochemical prerequisites for making testosterone. Testosterone is a steroid hormone, and all steroid hormones are synthesized from cholesterol. This fact alone debunks the low-fat diet myth for men seeking optimal hormonal health. 1. Cholesterol. The building block cholesterol is the precursor molecule for all steroid hormones, including testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. The process begins in the mitochondria of Leydig cells, where cholesterol is converted into pregnenolone, which is then further processed into testosterone. Dietary implication: you need adequate dietary cholesterol and healthy saturated fats. Restricting fat intake too severely can starve your body of the raw materials needed for hormone production. Studies have shown that men on low-fat diets often experience significant drops in testosterone levels. 2. Zinc, the gatekeeper zinc, is arguably the most critical mineral for male reproductive health. It plays multiple roles. Enzymatic cofactor. Zinc is required for the enzyme aromatase, which converts testosterone to estrogen. Wait, doesn't that sound bad? Actually, zinc helps regulate this conversion, preventing excessive aromatization. More importantly, zinc is essential for the enzymes that synthesize testosterone itself. Leydig cell protection. Zinc protects Leydig cells from oxidative damage. Receptor sensitivity. It enhances the sensitivity of androgen receptors, allowing your body to utilize testosterone more efficiently. Deficiency in zinc is widespread, especially in athletes and men with high stress levels, as zinc is depleted through sweat and urine during stress responses. 3. Magnesium. The liberator magnesium is vital for hundreds enzymatic reactions, but its role in hormonal health is specific. SHBG regulation. Magnesium binds to SHBG, reducing its affinity for testosterone. This effectively increases the amount of free bioavailable testosterone. Sleep quality. Magnesium promotes deep restorative sleep, which is when the majority of testosterone production occurs. Stress reduction. It calms the nervous system, lowering cortisol levels. 4. Vitamin D. The prohormone vitamin D is technically a prohormone, not a vitamin. There is a strong correlation between vitamin D deficiency and low testosterone. Vitamin D receptors are present in the testes and the pituitary gland. Adequate vitamin D levels are associated with higher total and free testosterone. Given that most modern humans are deficient due to indoor lifestyles, supplementation or dietary sourcing is critical. 5. Boron. The trace element. Powerhouse boron is a trace mineral that has gained attention for its ability to lower SHBG and increase free testosterone. Studies have shown that supplementing with